on then. You want to join me for my intro? Come on. Welcome back to the YouTube, guys. Today we're going to be making a video on what to expect from Creamfields, what you can and can't bring into Creamfields, and then things I'd recommend for you to bring in as well. Now, I have done 2 videos on this before, but every year I've learned something a little bit different, so I'm going to throw that in the mix. Of course, if you are enjoying this content and you want to see my vlog of Creamfields this year, then don't forget to hit that subscribe button and smash that like button, and then you'll see me and Buddy in the future. But let's get this going and let's start off with a few basics. Enjoy that? Is that a good intro? So Creamfields is a 4-day music festival where you can get certain tickets. Now, certain tickets give you different rewards, basically the more you pay. So I'm going gold and I have the past 2 years. This gives me free parking. I get access to a food pass once a day where you can go and to this secluded area where only gold members are allowed and get yourself a meal. Also, the gold and silver campers have their own campsite, whereas bronze have one campsite as well. Now, I haven't ever been in the bronze, but I know last year that the silver and gold campsites, their toilets and showers were taken care of really well. The year before, not so much, but this year, like, they were cleaned so often, I didn't really see any blocked toilets. In the music arena, that was a little bit different now. So let's get started with things that you need if you are camping at Creamfields. The most important one is a tent. You're going to need something which is reliable, easy to carry, and personally not too pricey. So I've managed to get a tent which I got from 2 years ago at Creamfields, and I've managed to get that back. It is a 4-person tent. Now, I'll be sleeping in that alone this year, and I'm so excited. Obviously, my tent last year, if you remember it, it was pretty spot on, easy to put up, cheap, and had a decent amount of space, but it lacked that little bit of extra comfort where I could move things around. So this is the Apenas 4.1. Everything I have bought that I remember, I will link down below in the description, so you can just check that out and see if it's for you. Next, you're going to want something to sleep on in your tent. So I recommend having an inflatable mattress. Now, it is definitely worth spending a little bit of extra money on this, just to make sure it stays up and doesn't deflate overnight. There's nothing worse than trying to rave with a bad back looking like Quasimodo. But also, I'd recommend buying a double if you have the space, so you have that luxury and that more room. Remember, I'm a big fan of glamping rather than camping, so that might be helpful for you. And of course, on that note, you will need a foot pump or electric pump, whatever you want to do. Then you're going to need a sleeping bag. Now, the one I got isn't my perfect preference, but I don't really need or want to spend any more money. So I got a 15-degree sleeping bag, which does fit to me. It comes up to my nose, and the only issue is that I would want a cocoon one where it gives me that hood. But again, I'm not going to buy a new one just for that. So recommendation, if you want to make sure that you are warm, 15 degrees is pretty spot on. I hate the cold. So to help keep you warm, I'd recommend bringing 2 blankets, one to go underneath your mattress. That's to separate the cold ground from your mattress, so the cold air doesn't lift up. And then another one to wrap around you in your sleeping bag. Little tip there as well, it's probably worth on your first day coming in some form of tracksuit and then using that to sleep in every night. Or if you're that fussy, bring in a couple tracksuits or a pair of trousers and hoodies just to wrap you up that little bit warmer of a night time. So if you are sleeping on a mattress, I purchased this £10 mat. It looks like a yoga mat from Decathlon, and literally I'd lay it out on my bed and have my sleeping bag on that little mat, just to keep it a little bit more comfortable. I can't recommend enough getting a comfortable pillow. Now, I've got 2 pillows. Both of them are from Decathlon. I think they were from last year. Both of them are really small, easy to carry, cheap and comfortable. And even if you're not finding something cheap, I definitely recommend investing in one good pillow to take with you. Same principle as the mattress. You don't want to have an uncomfortable weekend and have a broken neck throughout the whole of the weekend. Another thing to bring, I'm sure one person in your group will have one of these, but it's a cool box. It's basically a storage box where you're going to put all your cool drinks and food that you purchase from either bringing in, or if you didn't know this, there's a co-op on site. I queued up last year, timed it, it took me 20 minutes, got in, and they have a typical selection of things which a co-op does. They don't sell alcohol, and last year they didn't sell disposable barbecues because it was too hot. But basically, buy ice, you can put your drinks in there, keep them cold, keep them stored nicely, and the same with the food situation. That was off Amazon. Price will be up there because I'll have researched it, but it wasn't too expensive. The only thing is it does take up a lot of room. On that note, disposable barbecues. Now, depending on the weather, there was a heat wave last year, so they didn't allow us to bring barbecues in with us. So that one made everything more expensive because we had to buy all our food from food trucks. And two, I was a lot more hungry throughout the week because I wasn't relying on cooking. You are allowed to definitely bring disposable barbecues. It does say Hexi stove, so you might want to research what they are, but they are only designated in certain zones to cook food in. Now, 2 years ago, I did cook them literally right next to my tent. Didn't get any trouble. So that one is on you to where you cook them. Of course, with that, you're going to need a lighter to actually light your stove. Probably some tongs, couple plates, some sauce. I mean, you can probably buy anything food related or plates from the co-op, so you don't need to risk that. But you definitely want to bring cutlery as well to make sure that you can eat your food that you're cooking. On that note, just make sure you know that you're not allowed to bring glass into this festival. So if you've got glass vodka bottles, you need to empty them into big plastic bottles. If you've got aftershave, you need to empty them and pop them into these plastic bottles. Again, if they confiscate anything off you, there is no like zone where you can pick it up at the end of the weekend. It just literally probably gets kept by security or put in the bin. So just make sure that you're aware of that. And in case you didn't know the limit, 24 cans of Copperberg, Guinness, I don't know, whatever you're drinking, and 1 litre of spirits. Now, I know this question is going to be popular. Can you bring in more? At your own risk, yes you can. If they search you and they take it off you, you know, what's 10, 12 pounds down the drain? The last thing you want to be doing is running out of alcohol or having to keep running it into the arena to get alcohol or relying on other people. So I would say bring in more. If you get caught with more, they'll just take it off you. It's not the end of the world. Another massive thing for the weekend is a camping chair. Now, I've got a video from last year of me using this camping chair, and genuinely it's the best chair I've ever sat in the world. It was from the range, it was £30, and it was just like this really, really relaxed chair with a pillow and somewhere to put your legs on, so if someone else wanted to sit down as well. It was just really lax, and definitely buying something even like £10 from Tesco, a camping chair, is going to make your experience so much better, because sitting on the floor, especially if it rains, is not a good move. Also note that you are not allowed to bring any form of sprayable liquids into the event, so deodorants, hairspray, flamethrowers for whatever reason, you're not allowed to bring them into the event. So if you do get searched, they will get confiscated. So safety, get roll-on deodorant, really easy and cheap to buy and really easy and simple to use. Keeping on that topic, bring in stuff like paracetamol, ibuprofen, all those other kind of medication things. Bug spray is a big one which I need to purchase because wasps did my head in last year, and I want to keep them away as much as possible. So there's no harm in buying and trying. But having all this like medication with you will help you recover quicker and get over any illnesses, just in case you have anything on that weekend. Right, so power banks. So last year I had 3 power banks, 2 of the same brand. One you'll see on the screen now, and then one was a little wireless power bank which you could stick to your phone. Now I've still got those two left, and I've purchased another two. One's a really powerful solar powered one, and one's just a little handheld one that can fit in my bag. Now, power banks are really, really good. You don't have to spend tons of money on these. It's up to you how much you use your phone. Last year, obviously, I vlogged everything on my phone, so I needed to make sure that my phone had enough battery to last me the weekend, so that hence the free power banks. This year I've got 4 and one being bigger, so hopefully that will last me the whole weekend. But I'd say you can get away with 2 power banks to use. Now, they do have like power bank stations. I'm not quite sure how they work, but you'd give them your phone for like an hour, you'd pay X amount of money, and then they would charge your phone and you come and collect it afterwards. You can do that if it's easier for you, but personally I'll just buy a power bank off Amazon. Again, these weren't too expensive. We're talking like 10-20 pounds, nothing too special. A few other little bits and bobs you can buy to be on the safe side, so something small and you probably will use the weekend if you're hygienic, is a microfiber towel. You can get these really cheap off Amazon, and they literally fold up to this big, so they take up hardly any room. A light for your tent, depending on how fussy you are, you can have a light hanging, and then as soon as you walk in you can just pull that down to make sure you see what you're doing. Portable speakers, please note that these are not allowed at the festival, so take them at your own risk if you are gonna bring them. If you think you're gonna get caught, don't bring something ridiculously expensive, because again, it will get confiscated and you can't have it back. So if you're bringing a speaker, it's at your own risk, hide it well, just saying. Weather dependent, you'll be able to make this choice closer to the event, especially if you've got Amazon Prime, you can get this delivered straight away. But a fan, something that either goes around your neck, a handheld fan, a fan that goes into your phone, it does get hot and it's definitely good to keep yourself cool. I am a little bit lazy. I purchased a 20-litre water jug. Now, they do have little water things where you can fill up water and then keep coming back all you want, but again, I'm not sure where I'm going to be pitching my tent this year. It might be like half a kilometre away from the closest water storage, and to be honest, I can't be bothered to keep walking up and down there every day. So I just bought a 20-litre bottle, I get whatever you want to call it, from the range, which again was about £5, and it's really easy to carry with me, really easy to store, so I can just use that throughout the whole weekend to wash my face, wash cutlery, use it for hydration, that kind of thing. Something I learned from last year, which may have changed this year, is that the security weren't really very strict with taking alcohol from the campsite into the arena. I saw a lot of people just being able to carry it in. I may or may not have slyly smuggled it in, but if that's the case, I'm going to try, and I've purchased 2 water bottles with carabiners to clip on me, where I can just take vodka and lemonade or something in with me, and then just sip that throughout an event, and then if I want to refill it, I can either go to the bar or walk back to the campsite, refill it and come back in. It's just really saving money, not really saving time, but it's a good little thing to think about if you want to just keep walking in and out. Purchasing a water bottle with a straw, but it's not for water. Also, on that note, you will not get any phone signal in the arena, so you won't be able to text anyone. Something I haven't bothered buying because I'll probably be by myself, but is an AirTag. So if AirTags work without needing internet, that is, you should buy one with one of your friends and just keep it on each other at all times. Therefore, you can track each other down without having signal. Again, comment below whether that actually is a thing, that your AirTag works without internet. And I don't know if it's me being stupid, but I still find it a little bit difficult to figure out which tent is which in the arena. So if you are going to rush around to see a certain act at a certain time, I'd highly advise trying to figure out where you're going first, plan your route, just so you're not missing anything. Probably do this on the Creamfields app. You can also see now who's performing at what venue. It doesn't say the time, but you can see like who's on Saturday at what stage, and same with Friday, etc, etc. Now, to carry all your stuff around, it's a really good idea to buy a big trolley. Now, I have genuinely got the best trolley in the business. It's got lots of space, it folds up really, really easily, and the wheels are really steady and sturdy, so I can move around easily. Now, I paid a good amount of money for this. This was about £90 2 years ago, and it's still serving me well. Definitely worth investing in, or you can just, depending on how much stuff you bring, hire a wheelbarrow for some extortionate price at the car park and then have to carry your stuff in on that. Rucksack, something ideally that water can't get into. If it does rain, it's not really the best for you. Now, you can buy these little bags from Tesco, which are seal proof bags, to make sure water doesn't get in. On that note, I will put a list of things you can and can't bring on the screen for you, just so you can have a little bit more of an overlook, but you can also find this on the Creamfields website. Just make sure on the day that you bring your ID with you. If you look really young, they will not let you in, and it's definitely not worth the risk of driving to Cheshire, parking up, and then having to go home because you haven't got your ID and come back a different day. I don't think I've got anything else for you guys, so if there's anything you want to ask, drop the comment below. If you made it to the part of the video, thank you again for watching. Also, make sure you are subscribed again for that vlog of Creamfields. I'm going to make it a wild one, and if you do see me, which it's happened before, just say hello, even if I am pissed out my tree. Other than that, peace out, thank you for watching.